I'm Pam Ledesma with the Public Works Department in Cupertino. The reason I've asked you to take a look at this video is because I wanted to be sure you were aware of a lunchtime recycling program that's been set up at Garden Gate Elementary with the help from the city. The city sees this as a pilot program, and we're hoping that other schools who aren't already doing lunchtime recycling would be interested in doing something similar if they'd like to. 3 months after we've set up the program together, it's still continuing to evolve, but it's essentially working very well. This video hopefully will show some of the details that's allowing the program to work. We do have a small grant program in the city to help schools buy some of the containers that they're probably going to need. These are some of the containers that we were able to buy for this school. We can provide up to $400 per school, so please give me a call at 777-3241 to find out the details. Garden Gate Elementary in Cupertino is a kindergarten through 6th grade school. There are 660 students here. Currently, the school's garbage service is 12 cubic yards of garbage a week at a cost of about $575 a month. In Cupertino, recycling services are free, so hopefully as the recycling program expands, the school will be able to save money in their garbage service, either by reducing the size of the dumpster or the frequency of pickup. This school is already successfully recycling cardboard and paper, and I would encourage any school that isn't already recycling those materials to start there. Cardboard boxes are collected and flattened by the school's custodian, and they're temporarily stored in a garbage enclosure. They're picked up by school district staff and taken to the Vista Avenue Corporation Yard. Paper is collected in the school offices and in each classroom in 12-gallon plastic bins like this one. A student in each classroom is responsible to empty their class's paper bin into a centrally located paper recycling toter. The custodian wheels the full toters out to the curb to be emptied by the garbage company. Any type of paper can be recycled in these toters as long as it's not contaminated by food or heavily coated with paint or plastic, and we don't accept used tissues or paper towels. The city can provide 2 types of recycling toters at schools, these mixed paper toters and can and bottle toters, which this school is using to collect all types of drink containers. Can and bottle toters can accept aluminum and tin cans, glass bottles, milk cartons, juice boxes, Capri Sun bags, and number 1 and number 2 type plastic containers. So let's take a look at their lunchtime. Garden Gate is hoping to recycle the paperboard trays, milk cartons, water bottles, soda cans, juice boxes and juice bags, paper lunch sacks, and any clean paper or cardboard packaging from products like Lunchables that the students bring to school. Most of the labor involved with keeping the lunchtime recycling operation running smoothly is provided by the students in the school's GATE program. They've taken on this recycling program as their project. The responsibilities are rotated among the students. There is a chart posted outside the principal's office that carefully spells out who's responsible for which task. The school stores its lunchtime recycling containers in a protected area, located about 50 feet from the lunch area. 15 minutes before the second shift of students begin arriving for lunch, the students responsible for monitoring the recycling that day drag the containers to the lunch area and set up the recycling clusters. The GATE students and their counselor decided that 3 sets of containers would fit in the lunch area easily and would also allow the students to recycle quickly and get to recess without too much delay. The students can walk on either side of the row of bins. Each set or cluster is made up of 4 containers. It's important that the 3 containers look distinctively different from each other. Decals help, and consistent color coding. All of the can and bottle containers are blue with a lid, all of the paper bins are gray with no lid, and the trash cans are always metal. There's a 2-gallon bucket with a handle that will hold any leftover liquids. When students throw away or recycle drink containers with liquid still in them, it creates a mess for the janitorial crew and the garbage company. It can even lead to a problem with rodents or insects. The students decided to add a removable colander to keep the straws out of the buckets. A blue plastic bin lined with a clear bag will hold the drink containers. It's got a lid with 2 5-inch holes. We're experimenting with the size of the cannon bottle bin. A 20-gallon bin seems to be big enough to hold its third of the day's materials, and it's easier for the students to move around than a 32-gallon bin. Then there's a standard 32-gallon trash can lined with a bag for regular trash. And finally there's a gray 32-gallon plastic bin to hold the paper trays. The bin is also lined, although the liner bag isn't changed very often. It doesn't have a lid. It'll be the students' last stop after the trash has been dumped into the trash can. The students start by pouring out any leftover fluids, then they recycle their drink container, toss any trash in the garbage, and finally drop their paper tray in the gray paper bin. The student who is monitoring that cluster stands to the side of the cluster, out of the way of the students, and keeps an eye on what's going into the container. The monitor provides some gentle guidance when it's needed, and they try to keep any garbage out of the recycling bins. There can be a wait of up to about 3 minutes while the student waits his turn to use the recycling bins. This will give you a sense of how much is collected at each of the 3 clusters in one day. 300 4th through 6th grade students were eating lunch in this lunch shift. Two of the buckets go off to the restroom and are dumped down the toilet. The third will be carried to the toter area. The 6 recycling bins are dragged or carried by the students to the toter storage area to be emptied into the toters. Trash cans are left in place. They will be emptied by the janitors. The cans and bottles will need to be emptied directly into the toter. Since the recycler that accepts the materials has specified that there can't be any plastic bags in the toter, the liner bag will be thrown away. To avoid spilling any leftover fluids, the students drain the liner into the bucket before they empty the cans and bottles into the toter. A new bag replaces the dirty one. The paperboard trays are dumped directly into the mixed paper toter, and sometimes they're smashed down. The liner bags will be used again. After the recycling bins are emptied, they are stacked in sets. The liquids bucket inside the paper bin, which is balanced on top of the can and bottle bin lid. And there goes the third bucket, off to the boys' restroom. At Garden Gate, the toters are emptied on Tuesday and Thursday mornings, so the students wheel them out to the curb first thing in the morning. After the recycle truck has come and gone, the students wheel the toters back into the storage area, ready for lunch. So how did the students learn the recycling rules? When the program first started, the Gate students went to each classroom individually and discussed the details. They brought the 4 containers with them as props, along with samples of some of the common types of recyclable waste that you'd get at lunchtime in this school. That way the students knew what was really being expected of them. It was really helpful that the program details were being explained to the students by their peers. A big reason this program has succeeded is because this group of Gate students is willing to set up, monitor, and clean up recycling each day. But more importantly, this program wouldn't exist without the strong support of Russ Adi, the principal, and Lisa Carpenter, an enthusiastic teacher who was willing to work out the details with the Gate students and is essentially leading the effort.
Hi, I'm Russ Adi, principal at Garden Gate School. And I'm proud that Garden Gate was able to jump right in on this pilot with the city on recycling during lunchtime. We were very fortunate to have our gate students, under the direction of Lisa Carpenter, our gate coordinator, take on this project to see how it could possibly work at elementary schools to help reduce the waste generated by all of our school lunches. And this year we've just done it with our upper grade students to start with, and we've been doing it roughly 2 months now.
3 months.
2 or 3 months, and so far so good. There's been a learning curve as far as making sure the toters get out and everybody does their jobs. But all in all, it's been very successful, and it could be taken on by a grade level, like a 5th grade at the K-5 schools, and run successfully. You just need to have that one coordinator that's able to oversee the whole thing. But pretty much the students take care of it once they understand the process.
It's been a pleasure to help them create this program. So if you'd like to start lunchtime recycling in your school, there are a few issues that you need to consider. Who will set up the recycling bins into position each day for lunch? Should someone monitor the recycling? Who will empty the bins into the toters? Who will move the toters to the dumpster area in time for weekly pickup? How will the students learn about the recycling rules? What role can the custodian play? Is there a student group that can adopt the program as its project and provide some or all of the labor? And importantly, is there an adult who is willing to oversee the initial setup and then the ongoing maintenance of the program? I hope it'll be possible for your school to start a program something like this one. So give us a call and let us help you. Thanks for your time.